Good morning, Pisces. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Pisces, I just want to start off with saying, as I've said to all the other signs, thank you so much for your love, patience, and understanding. We got hit with the flu A, we got hit with rhinovirus, we got hit with allergies on top of all of that nonsense. So it's been a rough couple of weeks for me, trying to get better, trying to just get functioning again, it feels like. So thank you for just being there, being supportive. Some of the messages I've received and things like that, I will tell you I'm still coughing a little bit. So if I start hacking, my apologies to you guys. A little bit of the sniffles yet, but we're on the mend at last, so thank God. It's been a wild ride. Shout out to the eclipses, right? So Pisces, this is going to be your April 2024 reading. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. I am recording this today on April 8th, which is that of the total solar eclipse. We have some conjunctions and things happening with Chiron, Aries. There's a lot going on in the energies, and I've talked about for the fire signs, their readings went out the other day. Water signs today. We'll see what else I get into. Hopefully I'll get some more out. I'm not sure. So if you have other placements, please be patient. They are on their way to you. But there's a lot of energy moving, and the energy is heavy. The energy is very, very fucking heavy, Pisces. And it's like, I feel instantly for you guys that there's a need to kind of hold back, or you're maybe trying to hold back feelings that are coming to the surface right now. Don't discount what is coming up. And I know that I'm coming off, and I've started these readings today in a very serious connotation, but I feel like it requires that. The depths of what is transforming our lives right now is something that this is probably going to be the heaviest week or two in 2024. It is the inevitable. You have all of these things lining up. We've got Mercury in retrograde happening. And it's an Aries. This Aries energy is just bar none for the feelings that are coming in, the realizations, the reviews that are happening right now of our lives, the things that are changing. I can, on a personal note, say the last 2 weeks, like, holy shit. Things that I just, even myself, being the intuitive that I am, just did not see coming, and sitting with that and going, now where? Now what? And Pisces, I can honestly say, as I sit here and draw into your energy, that it's no different. It's almost like you're trying to hold back the floodgates of the emotional aspects that are coming in with these. And as I said it for Cancer's video, the epiphanies, the ahas, the realizations, the oh shit moments, whatever you want to label it as in your world, you're trying to maintain an emotional balance here. And I know it's like the dam is going to break. So if you have felt like you have held it together the last couple of weeks, expect in the next 2 weeks to give yourself a 3-day grace period, is what Spirit is saying. Like, talk about like death, right? Like, not to get too morbid here for some or make other people uncomfortable, but we typically take 3 days to mourn. We take 3 days to give ourselves that breathing room to address what needs to be addressed and say goodbyes to things in the past or whatever. Give yourself that 3-day period, whatever that means for you. Give yourself that grace. Take a long weekend. Take a day to breathe. Because I feel like this is going to be very vital, because I can't help but feel like you're trying to hold things back and at bay from your reality right now, and it's very difficult. Eventually, that you think about, seeing this as like someone who is lifting weights or going to the gym and dealing with that resistance, right? That physical resistance. You can only hold it up for so long, and then you've got to let it crash and burn. And I feel like if you haven't already experienced the crash and burn, Pisces, it's coming. Not to scare the shit out of you, but also recognize that part of that crash and burn is letting go of falsified structures. It is a tower that has held up everything for so long. There's not, it's the structure is breaking. The dam is breaking. Let it flow. And if it's tears, because the Spirit keeps bringing that up in just these few moments. Just, if it's tears, let the tears fly. If it's heartbreak, acknowledge it, accept it for what it is. Pardon me, I got hiccups. Story of my life. But allow it to be what it needs to be for you, because I think on the other side of this for you, there is some type of wish fulfillment that comes in, that draws in this. It's going to be a captivating energy in due time, Pisces, but also understand that, you know, diamonds are under pressure, right? We use that connotation a lot in tarot, that this is the pressure that is needed to get you to acknowledge some of the shit and the burdens that you've been carrying for so long. So with that, we're going to jump into your cards, Pisces. Again, Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For those of you who have booked personal readings, thank you so very much. Those are now open and available. Again, that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page. Pisces, that was a quick draw. Strength and patience, as I say, and it's like you could be, you know, I just said this to Cancer about giving themselves grace, and I think too with you, this is a womb energy of life being birthed and created, and it's kind of like I've watched a lot of the signs and dealing with people even in the past 2 weeks while I was sick, needing to be aware of everything, every bit of life force energy. The creative process of that takes time. And I kind of feel like, and as I've watched people trying to bypass certain steps as part of our healing or part of our acknowledging the things from the past that have really, you know, brought us to our knees, or that have messed up our foundations, or, you know, made some kind of significant impact that has required us to have to look at those. We cannot bypass those steps. And Pisces, I can't help but feel that way, and it's strength. You've got 2 4s here. Understand that whatever this feeling is that I'm getting for you, this could be a come to Jesus moment. This could be a humbling experience, but it's necessary. And I think sometimes as humans, our monkey mind runs amok with us and says, you know, I don't want to have this experience. This experience is going to hurt. This experience is going to shake up the reality in which that I've come to believe or trust or know. It's okay to take a knee. It's okay to take a time out. You know, I can't help but kind of see this Hercules here as that football player on the field. It's like, take a knee. Just take a minute. Take a minute to acknowledge the suffering that whether you have gone through or you're dealing with someone else who is going through it, because it does create a shock factor that is uncomfortable but is necessary. And Pisces, this is no different. There's a lot around the midsection of the body too, the stomach, the solar plexus, the sacral chakra. You trying to power your way through difficult situations, and yes, they require perseverance. Yes, they require your strength. Yes, they require your tenacity, but they also require you to take a look on an emotional level, because it's like, once you get to this point, to that solar plexus, how do you incorporate the heart into the acknowledgement of what is transpiring? And I think that once this bubbles, if it hasn't, again, I just want to say, if it hasn't already happened, it's requiring emotional expression. It's requiring emotional acceptance, Spirit is saying. You can't muscle your way through every little thing that comes to the surface. Sometimes you have to sit with it and accept it for what it is, exactly as it is. Why that message is coming in like that, you know, you guys are going to know better than me. So let's see what else comes up for you, Pisces. A very simple message, but yet very powerful in nature. I'm trying to keep these, I've said to the other sides, I've tried to keep these between 20-25 minutes. I've done fairly good. We'll see, though. I got Scorpio's reading to do. Look at this. Look at this. Clarity. There's that lightning bolt. Lightning bolt's very, Spirit is calling it impressive for some reason, whatever that impressive is for you. But on the split, you've got the patience card that came out on the first deck, and you've got it, pardon the ring light, once again, patience. You've got 2 cards of patience here in the underlying. If you think that you can quickly work your way through something on a mental level, seen this for Cancer a little bit too, you cannot. There are certain parts of certain pieces. It's like connecting the dots. This is going to take some time for it to fully evolve to what you needed to know. And I feel that April is going to be that month for you, Pisces, where, you know, you just had your own solar return, that this is now creating this new life for you. And Spirit is saying, unbeknownst to you, I don't think that during your season, like, you could have felt good, renewed, rejuvenated, ready to roll. But now, the reality of how quickly your life is changing is coming to the forefront of everything. And it's like all the things that you've held up, all the falsified structures, they're also giving acknowledgement for some of you, not all of you, obviously, when it comes to your home structure, your foundations, your family unit. There could be a splitting up. This is also a review period of our relationships, unfortunately. You know, 11:11 on the clock there, Pisces. You know, I say unfortunately because it can be a very difficult and uncomfortable space to be in when we realize that certain things are no longer working. But again, that pressure, the awareness that this ride can sometimes be lonely, Spirit is saying, that it's going to make and create space for the right things in your life. Spirit is also saying that your partnerships heavily are being highlighted right now, Pisces. So they're saying duality of a situation that you're also seeing and addressing. Projection. You could be dealing with Spirit is saying a projection of the self, okay? And I do think that has a large part to do with it, but I will also say for some of you, this is also the projection of other people's ideas and beliefs on you, of what you thought was once your idea. It's almost like someone gaslighting you to believe, them getting you to manipulating you to get it to do, or get you to do it their way. If I could talk, God blessed Mercury retrograde. But realizing some of these things were not yours. Maybe these burdens, this heavy load that you've been holding up for so long, was never yours. And there's an emptiness that surrounds this. You're realizing that there are potential areas of your life that have been fragmented for a very long time. It's like your intuitive nudge could have said, caution, Pisces, pay attention, Pisces. Do you see this, Pisces? And now you're realizing there's something around this realization. And again, we're all having them right now. I don't care what sign you are. You're realizing the bare bones, the structures, the things that are broken. And as much as that can be a push that is, again, extremely uncomfortable, it's fated, it's destined. It's required for you to see what awaits you, what are your wishes, what are your desires, because it's not going to be by living under the circumstances of someone else's desires of what they think you should be doing or how you should be moving through this. You've held up a structure for so long based upon the beliefs, the ideas of a ghost, of whether it's the past, of people in your life now. But this Wheel of Fortune is saying it is to heal your own fortunes. And when I say fortunes, it's not necessarily, money, gold, abundance, that kind of thing. Your own fate. You're fated and destined for something beyond what it is that you've known for a very long time. And now the structure is falling, and it's like, you could feel like that, whether it's people, places, things, whatever it is that's leaving your life or making grand exits, or you're realizing they're broken. It could feel very lonely right now. Spirit is asking you to have faith. Walk by faith, not by sight. Because it's carrying you. It's almost like, as much as you have been the one to hold back that dam, Spirit is like, please just let go of that load so that we can lift you up underneath your arms. Let's, the cherubs come in and they lift you. They elevate you. They're asking you to let go of that load and let someone else carry the weight. All right, let's jump into your past, your present, your future here, Pisces. Very interesting energy. Be patient as things unfold. There's a lot of I want to know now, I need to know now. Let go of the now. Queen of Swords in the upright and Seven of Wands. Boundaries. Clear boundaries that are being asserted. And I feel like at some point there could have been an argument where whether you have been the one to create distance or space with somebody or vice versa, but there's been some kind of argument in the past as to the desires of two separate sides of a situation. And it's like somebody here is not willing to give. There's the Judgment and Temperance. In the present energy, this is choice, this is release, this is freedom, this is healing. The Temperance. Eight of Wands. Pisces, I can't help but feel like you're trying to rush a process of healing. As I said earlier with this Eight of Wands underneath. Rushing, making quick decisions, bypassing steps that just get you through, like real quick. Okay, yep, here it is, and just keep on moving. Spirit is requiring you to slow it down. You cannot rush through this. Because, you know, it's like you're going to miss opportunities for your own growth, for your own emotional well-being that will return as repeated cycles. It will not just go away. And that call, you know, I even said to Cancer about choices. They had choices to make. Judgment can be seen as choices, but it's also about healing. It's about release. It's about letting go. And having the acknowledgement around a particular situation that is going to bring in this space of healing, this, you know, call it alchemy, these epiphanies. Spirit is saying it is time to take charge and make a change with these two cards together. But you cannot push your way through it. You cannot fight your way through it. You cannot just breeze by unscathed. There's going to be bumps. There's going to be bruises along the way. It's how we learn, right? It's like telling your kids, don't touch that. That's hot. They do it anyhow. Well, now you know, right? Learn from experience. There's an experience here that's happening for you, Pisces, that you're going to have to be a part of. You've got the King of Swords coming out. So we're going from the Queen of Swords to the Judgment to the King of Swords. The World card. There's a very deep knowledge that a particular point of love in a situation no longer works and it's coming to a close. I don't have the Justice card here, but as I mentioned a little bit ago, for some of you, this could be divorce. This could be the end. Spirit is saying an end of an era. You know, an end of these things. And you've got this Queen of Swords who has completely omitted her boundaries here. And then this King of Swords. You know, divine counterparts here. But is there more here on the sensical level? It's almost like, well, this is practical. This makes sense on paper. But does it make sense when it comes to our emotions? Because I feel like the emotions to a particular situation have been closed off. So let's clarify here. Queen of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and Nine of Swords in the sideways position along with the Chariot. Again, those burdens. You know, the sleepless nights, the anxiety that rule our every waking moment. Of going, how do I move through this? Chariot, the Hangman. Whether you've had clarity, and I feel like this Queen of Swords is you, Pisces. Whether or not you've had clarity around a situation, there is that internal knowing, right? The Queen of Wands, or Queen of Swords, I'm sorry, she knows. She's thought about it. She's worked through it. She's crunched the numbers. She's done all of these things. And it's like all of a sudden, you're seeing that there's a benefit for somebody else other than for you. Maybe all of this, carrying this load for so long, has been to the detriment of you and to the betterment of another. There's a reality check in this. And it's like, I don't know how much more I can take. That come to your knees, that come to Jesus moment, whatever you want to call it, it's here. There's that aha, that awakening coming in, and there's a boundary. It says, I'm defending myself. I'm holding myself in a higher regard, or I need to. How do I do this? The Nine of Swords. I talked about those burdens. There's that Ten of Wands. It's interesting. This card came out as it just fell out of the deck in the upright, flipped upside down, and then turned sideways. To me, it's about strategy at this point with that Queen of Swords. Strategizing how you're going to get out of this situation. First and foremost, the boundary. And then how to fully implement them without holding on to some kind of guilt that's attached to that. Because it's like you're feeling guilty. And that's that need to like be patient. To work your way through those emotions that are coming to the surface in this particular situation. Whether this is love, work, marriage, family, you know, whatever it might be for you specifically. It's going to be different for all of you. But this is that awareness to, do I give this burden back to the person that it actually belongs to, or do I continue to uphold this shit that I've dealt with for so long that has required me to be that firm foundation that I don't think I can be. It's, you're getting ready to crack under the pressure and the weight of a situation. Ten of Wands is to release your burdens, and coming out the way that it is like, I feel like it's a hit to the ego if you think you can't maintain something. The ego is kicking in with this Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, the Hierophant. It's a spiritual aha. It's an awakening. It's a call of authority on yourself. It's making the judgment of the self that says, I'm no longer going to participate in this. I can't do this. But then those emotions creep in. The guilt, the remorse. How do I let this go? I've made vows, I've made promises, I've made whatever to these situations. How do I let that go and not feel bad for that? That's something you have to work through, you know. So what is it with the Judgment and the Temperance at Spirit? Page of Cups. The Tower. Aries energy. Big shocker there. Give me a second. Two of Pentacles. Excuse me. The Page of Cups. The Tower. Talking about those epiphanies, right? You think about the Page of Cups. It's like when pigs learn to fly, that kind of energy, right? But it's also about the connection of the heart space. Again, there's a guilt. I can't help but go back to, there's a guilt surrounding a situation, and what the hell do you do with it? Have you been that one to hold up those foundations? There's a side of this that you can see right through. There's another side of this that isn't quite as transparent as you would like it to be. That Tower, those foundations, those falsified foundations, the Nine of Wands. How long you've bared the burden. Talked about those cherubs coming in, right? That angel from the Temperance card. She's a full-grown cherub who is there to alchemize, to heal, to release. The way these cards have come out, and I laid them without any, need to do it that way, I guess you could call it. That cherub is one and the same on the Judgment card and the Temperance card, and her face sticking out in between all the cards that surround it. They're one and the same. This is like you taking, it's almost like having an out-of-body experience, Pisces, that you're able to look down on yourself and go, have you healed? Have you done the work? Have you put in the energy, effort, and attention for yourself that is much needed here? The King of Swords could easily be, a lawyer, doctor, somebody with some authoritative power who makes these calls, right? But it's also transformation. That's the thing that I'm not a big fan of the King of Swords most often, but he still has that butterfly, which is indicative of transformation, the metamorphosis that needs to occur, that is occurring on an intellectual level, on an analytical level, mental level. And he's sitting there very stern in that there's a transformation here that is either taking place or getting ready to take place. But there's an alchemy of love that needs to be incorporated in this, because we can't think our way through everything, right? We also have to feel. What is this King of Swords about for Pisces? Five of Wands. I said there could have been an argument at some point. Here's the thing, and this is what I kept getting. As much as I just said, like, I don't like the King of Wands. He's not my favorite cat in the deck. And you've got the Five of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position, and the Two of Swords. This is that fight. This is somebody losing ground with you, who, you know, maybe you were a representation of emotional stability for this person, this situation. Eight of Swords is, if you're going to combat me, it kind of gives me a little bit of narcissist vibes. Unfortunately, I don't think that that's necessarily the case, but my opinion of it is we all have those traits. It's what we do with it. It's right, the shadow side, the non-shadow side of things. What are we going to step into? And Pisces, this is kind of like this person is feeling trapped by the combativeness that they're getting back from you for the first time, maybe ever. Or you're finally stepping into it without regard for how this is happening. And it's kind of like, you know that this change needs to occur, trying to draw a line in the sand as to how you get to this. But yet for you, this is, how quickly can I get out of this? You're going to have to work through it. This isn't going to change. You know, let's just say you've got, 20 years with a person and you're now ready to cut ties with them. You can't undo 20 years overnight. It's going to take it's a process. But it starts with a judgment call on your part that says, I'm going to heal around a particular situation. That the reality versus the fantasy is now coming in with this Tower and this Page of Cups. Wounded warrior, you're realizing the strength that it took for one, but also how much it's harmed you. Like, it's like looking at both sides of the coin and going, well, here's these good moments and here's these not so great moments. What do I do with that? And then someone here combating it and going, oh, you're going to force me to work with you. You're going to force me to have to make decisions that I don't want to have to make. And they feel like they're lacking control. It's like a battle of the egos here when I'm looking at that Queen of Wands and the King of Swords. Or I keep saying the Queen of Swords. Or the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. It's a battle of the egos. It's like a fight to the death on a mental strategic level. In the midst of all of this, the love has been forgotten. You know, that's a difficult thing. What ties this together? Spirit? Four of Wands, the foundations. Your foundations are being rocked. There's a fear around losing those foundations here with that Moon card. It is the light and the dark. It is the shadow aspects of the things that are coming to the surface. The difference here, Pisces, is I feel like you are willing to at least look at that. Who you're dealing with, I don't think they want to, because that means at some point here they're going to have to take some sort of accountability. When you start to project, we go back to this projection, that what it is that you're showing them, they may not acknowledge that it's hitting home, but it is, and you're going to see that in their actions rather than by their words right now. They could come off very cunning whenever you're having communication with them, and they don't seem like they're willing to give. It's kind of like asking your kids to do their homework. It's your homework. I will help you, but I'm not going to do it for you. Same energy here is, you're going to have to do it for yourself. I can't do it for you anymore. Whatever that means for you. Okay? So, let's get the advice for you guys. But Pisces, you can't rush this process. It's almost like okay, I've acknowledged it, now I want out. I'm not saying you can't get out, but you're going to have to work through a process. It's like you're fighting to be free of something here. Advice for Pisces. With this new moon today too, guys, like, now is the time. There's that protect and connect keeps coming out. Now is the time to envision the life that you want to have. Have faith. And You're going to know exactly what you need to do, Pisces, as you need to do it. You're going to get those intuitive nudges that say, move this way, do this way. You know, now is the time to take action or be still. Pivot. For some of you, I think that in due time, you're going to create a new vision. For some of you, with a particular person and or situation. For others of you, you're, again, that bypass of this just doesn't work anymore. And now I have to come up with a new idea or a new way. But this new way doesn't require you to carry this load on your back. It is holding yourself and others accountable for the direction in which your life is going. It is owning up to our part in something with this projection, to confirm our deepest desires to ourselves and then manifest the shit out of those. And if they include a particular person and or situation, then it will be. And if it is not meant to be that way, it will not. Right now, Spirit's asking you to protect your energy as you move through this. Give yourself patience and grace. This is a bring you to your knees moment, Pisces. That you're going to see something here very clearly, whether you want to or not. And that judgment call, that release of the burden is here. What are you going to do with it? All right. Pisces, I hope this helped. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal readings, again, are open and available. That information is found in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page. I'm wishing you all the very best, and I will see you soon. Take care and stay well. Bye.